NFL on the Run podcast. The project is co-financed by the European Union.
Hello, I'm Mara Arvai from Hungary. I'm representing JOPA, Youth for Participation Association. Today, this podcast, we are exploring that our organizations who are directly working with young people, how we can support the local community that's where we are located in, and how we can validate the value of our work, what we are doing with young people. How local communities can explore and recognize that our work is really essential in their cities, villages. I have two amazing colleagues speaking with about this topic today. One of them from Italy, other one from Germany. And I would like to ask you, please, Matthias, introduce yourself first.
Thank you, Mara. I'm Matthias from Oldenburg in Germany, representing the association Jugendkulturarbeit. You can translate it into cultural youth work. We are an NGO in the field of youth, and we have many different theater groups in different districts of our town and doing a lot of international youth work and civic education.
Thank you, Matthias. Andrea, please say some words about yourself and organization, because yours is a special one, being a social cooperativa.
Hi Mara, thank you. Hi everyone. Yes, it's Andrea Rilievo. I'm coming from Italy. My organization is a social cooperative. That means that it's a strange, let's say, kind of enterprise that has got no owner. I mean, we have members that every 3 years vote for some representative. Nowadays, I'm the legal representative of the organization, but we have this democratic method that change every 3 years, the governance. Of course, we develop and design social services for fragile people. One of the field is youth, and it's the field from which I come from. So I can say that I'm expert on it a bit.
Thank you, Andrea. Let's have a discussion that what your organizations are doing in such a way that how you support to build your local communities. What can be the great examples, which can be a method or a tool or a good experience, a good practice that you can show how the local community can benefit from your activities there. If I can ask you, Matthias, to start. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, we can talk that we are not just youth workers playing games with cards and balloons and balls. We have to be more advocates for the youth. We have to see what they need so we can give them advices or know where they can go. It's also about networking. It's about creating visibility for youth work, about the validation, about quality management. So it involves many different groups, many different stakeholders we have to talk with, we have to network with, and we can create these moments.
Thank you, Matthias, for this introduction. And it was a really interesting approach and point of view. Andrea, if you can share some examples on behalf of Studio Progetto, that how you fulfill this responsibility towards local community, what Matthias just mentioned right now.
Okay, listen, let's go in this way that I will try to offer you like a theoretical method first, quickly, and then I will offer you an example. I will try to explain an example. So the idea behind the method is we offer setting to the people. Comfort setting in a way that they can stay together and grow up as a community. What does it mean? That we open our services to the community, but we open not in a way that is a shop, that you come and see and take what you need or take what you want. Open in a way that they can experience them and I would say feel the emotion that are there and take them back home to build up their community. Let me give you the example. Maybe it will come to be much more clear now. We have this service that is for disability people. I know this is about inclusion, but let me just explain the service because now I will go to the community. So we have this service for disability people that is inside a villa in the city of Vicenza. So the villa is an ancient one, and there is our service for people with disability, and there are also a bank. There is a place with some lawyer. So they are integrated all together. The people with disability are putting up a community garden there. So they are growing vegetable and other things. What we noticed there is that meanwhile the people were working on the field, in the garden, other people from the bank and from the lawyer were coming out from their office and getting engaged with them. So we tried to move a step more farther than it. And we asked to the community out from the villa if there were someone that has a garden to build up a community garden. Also some school reacted. So we have adults and school that say, yes, we have. We went there with the people with disability that tried to teach them how to grow up a garden, a community garden. But the point is, it's not only about technique. I mean, the thing is not how to understand how to grow up a vegetable. This is not the main thing. Of course, there is this, but beside this, there is a setting, a way to stay together because you are doing together, not alone, that thing. And this is the point. So we try to take our knowledge and put it at disposal to the community. So this is the idea behind the process.
Andrea, I like your approach to take the benefits and the synergies together and to build up communities and to see where we can work together. It's deeply connected to the point of responsibility and even civic education. That's what I like. And I can give you another example because if you, for example, have your own center or your own house like we have, you can invite the neighborhoods to come. And in the long run, it's a hand-in-hand process. So everyone is benefit from that in different aspects.
Thank you, Matthias. If I can ask you, if you can share nice example as well that on behalf of your organization, how you do this community building.
Last year, for example, we started, you can say a network with different kind of schools in our city and with the municipality. And our idea was, let's see what the schools need and what we need and how we can work together. And one result was that we realized we have this air shelter under one of our houses and an old ABC bunker because our houses are based on an old military camp. And we thought it would be a nice idea to open this place as a place for participation. So students can come and have another place besides school and doing their own project there. And this is also a good example if you think about how we can breach the barrier between formal and non-formal sector. In Germany, for example, there's a great focus on the formal sector, schools and things like that. And again, the thing with the validation for our field, for the non-formal learning, it is a good idea to bring our strengths and our skills to the other fields and to say, hey, we are here, we have good quality in youth work and show it.
In both of your examples, you shared how you start to cooperate, how you start to initiate a cooperation among different sectors. It's like Andrea's example was how you start a cooperation among business sector and school sector and let's say like inclusion sector, which can be like Studio Progetto can be identified like this. And then Matthias, you just brought up a nice example how you cooperate between formal and non-formal education, like cooperating with schools. I would like to ask you that if you have heard any good ideas or methods or suggestions from each other during this project that you can believe that it can be interesting for your organization and maybe you would try to adapt it in order to support your local communities back then in your countries. Matthias, please.
Thank you. I think the example Andrea described is really nice because to see what are the strengths of other stakeholders and to bring it to one project and to grow as one community. And I think you have to have the courage to adapt it in your way for your institution, for your work, because it's in every field it's different. But there are always chances that you can develop your own thing. It could be, for example, to invite the neighborhood for the next rehearsal or exhibition, or like we do, that we are taking our theater groups out to the city to show what we are doing. Or when we have an international youth exchange, we also try to see where we can be visible in town. So you have to adapt it for your own context.
Thank you. Andrea, you have youth exchanges as well.
Yeah, I do. I was listening now to Matthias and one thing came to my mind I would like to share because I was thinking about what to give you as an example, but I wasn't able to choose. This is the point because I had too many things that I liked in these days. But now, meanwhile, I was thinking this and listening to him, this important thing came to my mind that there is a red line that put together all these things. And is that we have like a difficult and strange role in this kind of process. In the community building, that is, we cannot be the one that choose when the process make a step. I don't know if you are understanding what I'm saying, but I mean, you are like watching the process, and sometimes you can move a little bit. That means you can push the people, move something, but you cannot be the one that decide that community will make the step. So you can create all the condition in a way that they will do the step, but you are not the one that will decide. And this is the way, just came to my mind when you were speaking, Matthias, because it's a strange thing. You're not leading it. You are waiting for it. In another way, you are pushing a bit. But this is the way how to be present on it.
Make mistakes and to trial and error. And we will see the results in the long run.
And I think it's really important what both of you, as Matthias and Andrea, you have said, that as organizations dealing with directly young people, you have an opportunity to provide several different type of activities for your local communities, because your young people are coming from the local communities. So through your young people, you not only reach the young people, but you reach their parents, you reach their grandparents as well. So the impact of your work, goes directly on young people, but indirectly, or maybe sometimes even directly, you are reaching their relatives as well. And what was really important that you mentioned, that you don't push the local community, you provide different opportunities, even through the young people. And then it's their choice that which one and who will then live with the opportunity that your organizations can provide. I just would like to ask you for the last round, if you can share like one small, tiny example that you are really proud of, that you can say that something happened in your local community, which has just started with an initiative of young people maybe, and then it just became bigger and bigger because it reached more and more people through your young people that you work with. And then you are just proud of sharing this story.
Yeah, for me, it's quite easy because we are working in our community in the last 30 years. So to be honest, we use this method several times. So one of the things that we do with the local communities, especially with young people, is to ask them to offer some event to organize. Of course, it's not that all the time the things are going properly or like a success, but a lot of times it happens that then they create like a festival, for example, or a competition, something like that, that lasted more than us. What I mean that we were involved like the first year and then they went farther together without us, sorry. And then you can see the results of your job because you just push them, like we were saying 2 minutes ago. And of course, the first year you give them the instrument, but then sometimes it happened that festival become much more famous than what you expected before.
Thank you, Andrea. Matthias.
I think festival is the big thing. It's also for us. We have a theater group in one of the districts for a long time. And at some times there was the idea to create this festival for the neighborhood. And it got bigger and bigger. And the last year we managed to invite all the neighborhoods and talk about human rights, for example. And it's a really nice thing. And the other thing is the bunker, this place for participation I already mentioned, because it was so nice to see that the young people who helped us to build it or to renovate it now see it as their place. It's not more the bunker of our association, it's their place. And so it's community building for internal, but I hope it goes bigger and bigger.
I think it was really interesting to hear these stories because I think the result is what you have said, that when you just initiate something as part of a local community and then it just overgrow you. So you start something that can be like based on the interest of young people and based on the needs of young people. And then just you recognize as youth organizations that it is just become bigger than you are and you are not needed really there anymore, which means that you have started, but it grew out. And then it became part of the local community. And it is like your child who just become independent from you. And this is, I think, one of the greatest achievement of a youth organization, like initiate something based on the needs and interest of local community. And then just let it to live further because then the local community feels that it's theirs. And then they are just continue and just maintain it, which means that your work was hard, but it was really valued in the end. Thank you very much for your
Thank you, Mara.